Let's talk about communication. I want to introduce you to this method of communicating, which is very heart-centered and truthful. And it's called nonviolent communication, NVC, also called compassionate communication. You're going to learn this healing way to communicate with your partner so you speak out your truth whilst maintaining the love and connection between the two of you. So, communication, what is this? We communicate at all times. That's what we do, whether we use our words or with our body posture. We cannot help but communicate and send signals out to people around us. And even animals and children can sense what's going on inside of us in many cases. But let's go back to the true root of the word communicate. The Latin root of the word communicate is communis, and it means common, commonality, or sharing. That's what communication comes from originally. And the Latin verb communicare stands for making something common. So here you go. The true purpose of communication is to make something common, to share an experience, to feel and be with the other person, to create this commonality. This is the intention, the true intention behind the will to communicate, to move closer in connection and commonality with people. So this nonviolent communication method has been very helpful in my life. Because I wasn't too sure when I was communicating. We always communicate no matter what, but what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. It's the subject of numerous books on effective communication, and by no means am I saying that this is the best way to communicate. But in terms of intimate relationships, personal relationships, emotional connection, I think this one is the best. It has some beautiful nuggets of wisdom. It was created by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. I believe he was a psychotherapist, and he realized that even therapists use some language which does not help create connection and love and understanding amongst each other. So this method, this NVC method, speaks to my heart. It is simple to implement, but it's not easy because we're not used to it. So let me tell you how it goes. In the nonviolent communication way, you start by telling the fact of the situation. What you see, what you hear, what's going on that you've noticed. Facts, not interpretations. Then you go about naming 2 or 3 feelings you are experiencing as a result of seeing or hearing or witnessing the fact, the situation. Then you express the needs behind the feelings, what you're truly feeling. And last, you ask a specific request. And you're like, okay, Diane, how do you put this into practice? I don't quite get it. Well, let me walk you through it. Let me give you an example here. So, telling the fact of the situation is usually you start with when I hear you say or when I see you do. You know, this or that. I'll give you a specific example after that. And then you express the feelings that's going on, that are being triggered by what you see or hear. I feel this and that. I feel this and that. And then you express what you're needing. Because I am needing blah, blah, blah. And last, you ask a specific request. Could you please do this or don't do that? Ideally, you ask a positively worded request. Let's take an example. The situation is this. You're working on a proposal or something, and there's a lot of noise. Maybe your partner put the music on or the TV is on, it's very loud, and you go like this. When I hear you making all this noise, I feel you're so disrespectful and inconsiderate of my feelings and my need to work. Stop this noise. Have we followed the non-violent communication method here? You've started by saying, when I hear you making all this noise. Okay, could be fact. Maybe you could have said, when I hear all this noise, could have been enough. And then you said, I feel you are so disrespectful and inconsiderate of my feelings. Okay, you said I feel. But then you said I feel you. That's not feeling, that's judging. If you go deep within you and you feel the emotions, disrespectful and inconsiderate are not emotions, they are judgments. So for this process to work, we all need to become a little bit more attuned with what we feel. And I will go over this in the next slide here. So you've judged your partner, making him responsible for what you think are your feelings, which are actually judgments. And then you say, and okay, so I feel you are so disrespectful and inconsiderate of my feelings and my need to work. Okay, so you said my need, which works well for, the third part here, because I am needing to work, sure. But to work is not a need. I'm talking about something a little bit more deeper here, and we'll go over this in the next section. And then your request. Okay, so let's go about this. You said, stop this noise. Is this a request or is this a demand? I hear a demand here. So when you say this, you've communicated, you're kind of trying to follow this method here of when I hear you say doing this, I feel this because I'm needing this. Could you please? Well, you haven't said could you please, but you made what you thought is a request, which is actually a demand. What are the chances that your partner would say, oh yes, honey, you are right. I am so disrespectful and inconsiderate of your feelings. Let me turn up this music right now. And by the way, can I give you a foot massage? It's very unlikely that your partner, your loved one, would have received your communication in a way that makes him or wants to connect with you and help you out with whatever's going on inside of you. It's more likely that he heard a criticism, some kind of attack or judgment. And most likely he's going to be upset. And is also heard a demand from you, not a request. All right. So to express this, whatever's going on inside of you in an honest, non-violent, compassionate way, let's follow the steps again, but doing it the NVC way. When I hear this music, this loud music, I feel angry, stressed out, and nervous because I am needing quietness and support to focus on finish this proposal tonight. Could you please turn the music volume down? Have you expressed what's going on inside of you? Yes. Have you been judging your partner? No. You've said what you're feeling. I feel angry, stressed out, and nervous. You didn't go point out your finger at your partner, triggering the emotions within you. You've expressed the situation. When I hear this loud music, I feel angry, stressed out, and nervous because I am needing quietness and support. These are your basic needs. You know that's what is not in alignment right now. You need to feel quietness and you need to feel supported. And you've expressed it to your partner. And when you say, could you please, and then you ask for a specific action here. Turn the music volume down. Can you tell the difference between one way of communicating which alienates your partner and yourself, and another way, which is the nonviolent communication method, which is a lot more peaceful and brings out what's alive inside of you. So you speak out your truth. You can still express what's going on inside of you, and you can still ask for your needs to be met. So for a relationship to deepen, it's important to openly express our feelings and needs. Don't keep them bottled up inside of you. You also be aware of the appropriate time to do that, especially when you want to talk about something that's been going on, that you've been thinking about for a while and that you wish to express to your partner, not something that's happening in the heat of the moment. So for these deeper conversations, these meaningful conversations, you might need to do it at the appropriate time in the right amount. This is very structured. It's step 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. You don't need to say more. Sometimes we say too much. And in the appropriate way. And to me, this method, this compassionate method of communication, expresses everything. But for us to truly be able to communicate this way, we need to practice expressing our feelings and our needs and being familiar with them. And here are the list of feelings when our needs are met. Whether it's affection, you feel engagement, hopeful, excited, inspired, exhilarated, refreshed. These are feelings. So I'd suggest you take your workbook, you print out these pages, and you put them in a place where you can see them on a regular basis to be familiar with these feelings when your needs are met. And when it's a situation that bothers you, when you're having these feelings, when your needs are not met, you are usually expressing these more negative feelings, pain, fatigue, disconnected, vulnerable, fragile, disliked, turbulent, gloomy. Same thing, you can print it out, become familiar with it, and be familiar with your human needs. We've talked about this before. We have not been brought up to truly express our needs, especially in some cultures. We go about making judgments about people and situations as opposed to looking within. What am I needing right now? Why am I feeling so edgy? Why am I feeling unsupported? Why am I feeling this? Is it because I am needing to experience hope? Is it because I'm needing compassion and warmth or some stability? Is it because I'm needing some humor right now in this dreadful situation? So I hope this was helpful to you. This NVC method is simple, but it's not easy to put into practice. So print out the 4 steps and make sure that you review it on a regular basis. I have heard people write this down on an index card or like a credit card size card and put it in their pocket or put it in their bag. And when the moment arises and there's something that's stirring up inside of them and they're not happy or they're feeling down, sometimes they take the card and they read it to express what's going on. It's like, okay, let me communicate it the right way so I express all of the truth inside of me, everything that's alive, that's expressed in a deep and honest way, where I can still express my needs and I can still ask a request, not a demand. I hope this was helpful to you. Look forward to seeing you on the next video tutorial. And if you have any questions, connect with us on our Facebook private group here. Talk to you soon.